morning. My name is Kirsty Dignam, and I'm here to talk about the collective energies for this week, commencing the 8th of March, International Women's Day, and also Earth Healing Day, Worldwide Healing Day. I just want to take a moment to talk about what the woman means. And it can be very different to all of us, and we can get very caught up in the labels of the feminine, the archetype of the feminine. And everything that is shared on this video is my own interpretation, just like everybody else's opinions and truths are their own interpretation. But what lies beneath that is a deeper truth, the one thing that connects us all. And this morning, myself, I'm feeling a deep vulnerability and being okay with being in that vulnerability, recognizing it as a strength. I think it's Brené Brown that says the first thing we want to see in others is the last thing we wish to see in ourselves, which is vulnerability. When we're vulnerable, we are just that. We are open, we are raw, but we are also real and true. This week in particular feels very much related to the strength that can come from this honesty with ourselves and with each other. So International Women's Day, for myself, being raised by an incredibly strong woman, we would often see my mother fight and charge through life and keep going against the odds right up until the end. We had many nurses visiting saying they hadn't ever seen anyone like my mother, and much as it was beautiful, it was kind of nothing new to us. It's what we had seen. And my mother would always say, what alternative is there? You keep fighting, you keep rising, you keep moving on. And everyone would know my mother as the fighter, but the select honoured few would also know her as the vulnerable woman that she was. And for me personally, that's where her true strength shone through. She had no choice but to be strong, but to do that in a way with such gentility. That, for me, was the incredible power that has been gifted down my ancestral line and down the line of us all. For me, that is the divine feminine. When we talk about the divine feminine, understandably, there are links to old patriarchy, there are links to now standing in our rights and leadership qualities and empowerment, and these are all very, very valid. I was having a conversation with my sister yesterday who's reading Greek mythology at the moment, and she actually said that it was her words were, it sucks ass to be female in these stories. And I make no apologies for my language. I make no apologies for the way I choose to speak. Yes, that leaves me vulnerable to opinions and judgments, but actually I would be far more vulnerable if I didn't stand in my truth. And we were talking about this concept, how through Greek mythology, so for example, Medusa was abused for her beauty, and when this came to light, she was demonized and turned into a monster. And we can see that in the way of the old patriarchy. But if we choose to, we can go deeper. We can go deeper than the tales of Mary Magdalene being the prostitute. We can go beyond the stories and the myths and the legends of being punished for being feminine, regardless of gender. And we can go to the underlying message. The abuse of creativity. The divine feminine is creation itself. It is the ability to take an idea, to gestate it, and to birth it. Throughout time, for me personally, what a lot of these stories have in common is the need to take something that occurs naturally with pure innocence, whether that is someone's beauty, someone's vulnerability, someone's birth, someone's healing, someone's rites of passage or transition or death or whatever it may be, something that occurs beautifully, naturally, change of its own accord, creation in its own right. to take that from a masculine perspective, not gender, but our actions and how we logically rationalize something and how we behave with that in such an aggressive manner that it actually demonizes the very thing that it stands for. It turns it into a monster. So that feels really relevant with the energies this week. And when I was tuning into the best way to navigate it, whether to use tarot cards or to speak or to channel or just to write, what clearly came through was to use the Spellcaster's Handbook Tarot by Melanie Marquis. And the reason this came through, the message that came through, was it wasn't really about the energy, but what we actually do with it. It's not about how we define the divine feminine. That is going to be different for all of us. It's not about how we define creation or source, but about how we act with it, our actions, how we take this forward, the spells that we create with it. That is going to be different for everybody, with an underlying emphasis this week of true strength coming from vulnerability and the truth that can be found within that. So I'm going to take a swig of my tea. Over the next few weeks in particular, we are being gifted an opportunity to, my own personal but also collectively, to lay to rest also not just the old patriarchy but the old matriarchy as well. How things used to be. To really, really fine-tune, transform, burn through the old lessons that we have learned during lockdown, the old compromises and new ways of being. We have all had to surrender to something beyond our wishes, our ideals, and how things used to be. We have all had to have hope and faith in ourselves in navigating this. The next few weeks in particular feels like an opportunity to almost be cocooned, like a seed breaking through the soil in the darkness, so that we can truly birth something new. In order to do that, there is still the release of the old. But what I feel, what I sense is release and birth becoming one now, almost a natural, like it is a natural process, not needing aggressive actions now to demonize that creativity. So with that in mind, I'm going to shuffle the cards for the energies this week with the emphasis that they are, I've just seen a video of my mother in her bed towards the end singing the Que Sera song, which is very relevant for me. My grandmother used to sing it, and it actually came up when I went to Canada, and there was an awful lot of healers and people that use the tarot and guidance and channeling and things like that actually singing Que Sera, Sera, whatever may be, the future's not ours to see. So with that, a little note on working with the tarot. When I work with the tarot, there is the potential of prediction. By looking into the energies of where we are stood, we are gifted the potential to change things. You know, if you were told you were going to get run over on a Thursday by a bus, you'd stay away from bus stations, you'd stay indoors, but ultimately you could limit your life. So when I utilize the tarot, it is to look into the energies that are around and the best way to navigate them. And that does come down to the individual. So this is about the collective energies, but also having a raw, vulnerable strength to acknowledge that it always determines how you interpret the message and how you apply it to your life. Okay. Energies this week, best way to navigate them. Not the best way, the potential energy to navigate them this week. So what I'm still seeing, so I need to share it. I'm still seeing the video that I've just mentioned of my mother singing Que Sera, but she was actually very poorly at that point and was doing a gesture as if to say, you know, not on my watch, you can do one. And to the coin, there's two sides. Okay, so it is knowing if you want that change. It is dependent on your actions. The future may not be ours to see as such, but by really tuning into your own vulnerability and your truth this week, there is potential to actually change what is going on for you, should you so wish to. Including how you change things. Really, really go deep. Really, really go deep and look at how you change things, how you create things, how you birth things. Just because something worked before doesn't mean it will now. Okay. Energies for this week. So today we are Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, overall. So overall, the energy this week we have, the world has, the Hermit. A misconception with the Hermit, my own included at one point, is about being that lone wolf, about retreating, about going within and almost isolating ourselves. When we go within, we realize that actually when we go right within, even though it appears we are separating ourselves, we are actually becoming one with everything. So the Hermit carries a lamp, and in that lamp, I don't know if you can see that picture, but in that lamp is a star, the very star from where you came from, the very star of your ancestors, the ability to take such vast energy now and bring it down in such a way that will really guide you forward. That does come this week from going within to what you're feeling, going within to your vulnerability without the shame, without the guilt, going within to your emotions now in a grounded way by using your body. Take that time, have that patience with yourself and with change. Very often, change, birth, death, rebirth merely needs somebody to hold space for it. Yeah. So today, Monday, the Tower card. A real time of change here. When people see the Tower card, there is that ultimate knee-jerk reaction to, oh my God, everything's falling down around me, and oh, everything's going to be so quick and so rapid. Having journeyed with the Tower card many times over, the moments in my life that I could have attributed or blamed the Tower card for weren't actually relevant. They were me causing change, artificial change, hence the long-term pain afterwards. With the Tower card, it's all about surrender. Knowing that that change is coming, that bolt of enlightenment that actually says what is for you will not pass you by. It is coming. It is coming, but to let go even of the need for change and just be today. Next to the Tower card for Tuesday, even though I say for Tuesday, this could be a continual, ongoing process through every moment as well, but for logical reasons. For Tuesday, Two of Swords. So when you have that Tower moment, it can leave us really undecided where we're going, but that's on the surface. If we look at this card in particular, by listening to her animal instincts, her wolf, the lone wolf, going within to her own answers, she can find peace and actually stand on top of the rubble that is left. Okay, so by surrendering to any changes that occur and just finding peace within, knowing too, this shall pass. This shall pass. Once all those things that have blocked our view from the Tower card crumble, we will see that clear horizon. So I'm just listening out because I think my son's about to walk down the stairs. So let's just take a pause and just be for a moment. He looks half awake, half asleep. And yeah, just taking a moment and pausing for that energy just to come down like the tower, that thunderbolt just to come down into life, and just pause and wait for it. The door opened on its own and it closed on its own. Sometimes we can really be, I almost see like trying to pull a door that says push or push a door that says pull. So just waiting. Because Wednesday, what we have collectively after the peace of Tuesday and the acceptance is the Five of Wands. When the tower falls, not everyone around us or our own emotions or drives or ambitions are in one place. It's like they can be scattered. They can be scattered everywhere. And we can almost blindly be led by them or other people Wednesday. This can be quite a hazardous energy. And the reason I say that is you can see they're all waving around what it is they want, what it is they need, without going within, and potentially above them is a bee's nest, the potential to be stung. So on Wednesday, with all the change that has occurred on the Monday and the acceptance on the Tuesday, on Wednesday, be. Just be. With the energies that are whirling around, they are a result of change. You know, we can build something up and it falls apart. And one of the things with the Tower card is the rush to almost rebuild what we had. It fell apart for a reason. That could be really uncomfortable, almost a space of transition, but it is a 5. It's a halfway point. So if you truly want to build new on Wednesday, just be. Just be. Try and avoid that knee-jerk reaction of listening to others, myself included with this video, or old patterns and beliefs. Because on the Thursday, we go from the 5 of Wands to the 6 of Wands. The light on that is just like, just incredible. I don't know if you can see that card. And you can see here that she has the eagle on her shoulder. She's seen the bigger vision. And she's actually taken the 4 that were arguing before her. And she's helping them now with the lessons that she has learned. So all those emotions beforehand, she has taken it up another level and is letting them unite and guide her forward on the Thursday. On the Friday, the 7 of Swords. And in this card, we have the wolf from the 2 of Swords that has actually been following that shadow aspect that was actually following potentially on the Tuesday from the change, all those things that are brought up, rather than being behind us now, resting by the light that has come from the Hermit, resting by the fires that have transmuted, allowing our shadow to be at peace now, and walking away from the need to fight it. That's what I really feel on Friday. On Saturday, the Queen of Cups. Now, Saturday is actually the Mexican New Year. Hold on, I'll just wait for my son to go back upstairs. Saturday is the Mexican New Year. Okay, now my son has just come down the stairs and made sure that he has lunch and his needs are met. And this feels really relevant on the Saturday, to take time to sit with these newfound emotions now, realizing that they're not new, but the divine feminine that has been trying to come through for some through lockdown, for some quite a long time. Okay, and rather than controlling those emotions, rather than trying to fit them into a box, sitting with them, not demonizing them, but owning them as part of your sovereignty on the Saturday. It feels really poignant for the new beginning, for the new moon, for the new year, for the new you, actually, to befriend those feelings, that vulnerability, that intuition, those psychic insights. Because on the Sunday, the Chariot. On the Sunday, the flames from the Hermit, the stars, that light that you found inside this week in particular, is what will guide you to move forward. It feels like an ongoing process throughout the days, throughout the months, definitely throughout this week in particular, but also in every moment. In every moment, because in every moment we are changing. By breathing in and breathing out, we are releasing and bringing in the new. And that's enough. At times, that's enough for change to happen as the vessel for those emotions, for those energies. I do see a real blossoming this week, a real opening up this week to the feminine archetype within us and what that means for you. And there may very well be change with that. And that may very well cause some mental disruption from the sheer fact that we believe that when we have changed, our dreams and wishes have changed. Have they? Or is it on a deeper level? Is it still the same things, just that it needs to be brought together, united into the one? Empowerment, leadership, strength, vulnerability, gentility, creation. They're all aspects of the divine feminine. All of them. The thing that brings them together is how we act with that. How we take those teachings forward. How we create magic. How we walk the world like the hermit. So I'm going to quickly drink my tea. Let's have a little look at what we've actually got here. 3 major arcanas: the Hermit, the Tower, the Chariot. Only by going into our own truth and surrendering that is not will we move forward. How? With the minor arcanas, how we can best navigate these energies from a physical level this week. 2 swords, the 2 of swords and the 7 of swords, but 2 swords together. Peace. I want to hold these 2 cards up. The feminine, the shadow of the feminine, that wolf behind her, is actually what's guiding her forward through the rubble. And the masculine, walking away from the need to tame that now. Having peace with how you create. Walking away from the need to demonize creation for the beauty that it is. Biologically explaining it, by fighting it, by believing it needs to be a certain way. Taming the inner beast this week. Through love, through nurture, through mothering. Very much so. Wands, there are also 2 wands, and it's the 5 of wands and the 6 of wands. Progression here, real progression here. Not by fighting each other, not by fighting our drive, our ambition, our desires, but by taking it up to the next level from everything that we have discovered and learnt, uniting all aspects of the self this week. And on the Saturday, we have 1 cup card, the Ace of Cups, self-care and nurture, the Queen of Cups herself, really tending to your needs, really listening, providing, I see, providing your birth environment, providing a safe, secure, loving environment for this to create, this creation to come through now. Worthy of the divine feminine, that's what I hear. Worthy of the divine feminine. I can't help but see the link to Hathor this week in particular on Saturday. So if you feel drawn to looking into the myth and legends of Hathor, possibly connecting to her energy, I can really feel that. And it feels also linked to Isis and the underworld, and how we navigate this week and the underworld in particular. So I am really thinking about, in May, redoing Journey to the Dark Goddess, and I have questioned whether I need to add more to the course, whether I need to take it over longer time, or incorporate more tools. And going into this, what I actually really felt is my energy has changed. The course hasn't. It's a fantastic structure. My energy has changed, and it's actually more about not doing differently, but really, really embodying what we're doing, really being present, really experiencing our lives, our emotions, our journey within the underworld, rather than trying to leave before it is time, rather than trying to initiate change before it is ready. It is only when we go into the darkness, the divine feminine, Pachamama, ourselves, that we find the true light there. And that takes courage, and it takes vulnerability, and it takes strength by letting go of everything that we once believed. So when we do the journey to the Dark Goddess, we actually do the journey of Inanna. And we go down through the 7 gates and the 7 veils, the 7 energy centers of the body, and we release all those things that we hold dear so that they can be free. So that's very relevant to me this week. But then when freedom occurs, change occurs, and everything takes on a brand new perspective. So this week in particular, thank you, is the Star card. Okay, as I was talking about Inanna and Isis and Hathor, this week in particular, it is about seeing the true vision now that you're trying to take forward after this whole last year. With the Mexican new moon coming up, it is about the divine feminine, how you see her, how you embody her, how you portray her. Is she another Greek myth to be demonized for her beauty and her purity in the very essence that she creates, just because that's who she is? Yeah, just like yourself. You create change. You create in every moment as you are. See yourself for the divine beauty that you are this week, and it will be that truly guides you forward. So 4 major arcanas now. Beautiful structure. Beautiful structure. And that is all. That is all that is needed this week. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. Take care, and I shall see you next time.